Folks, Florida has an election law that requires a recount if the reported difference between the candidates is less than 0.05%. That's half a percentage point. That has happened already in 3 races this year. That's the governor's race between Ron DeSantis and Andrew Gillum, the U.S. Senator race, plus the Ag Commissioner race. Again, in the governor's race, Andrew Gillum is 0.47% behind Ron DeSantis. Now, incumbent Senator Bill Nelson is trailing Governor Rick Scott by about 12,000 votes in that particular race. Now, the recount, of course, is happening, but first of all, Donald Trump and Governor Rick Scott, they are claiming, without any evidence whatsoever, voter fraud. Video in just one moment. Heard me talk about our friends at Transatlantic Real Estate, who've created a unique investment opportunity that combines legal marijuana and crowdfunding. Now, let this sit in for a second and think about the growing momentum around legal marijuana in this country. It's been all over numerous ballots. Of course, we know it's legal in a number of different states. And now, of course, you can be an investor. And there's never been a better opportunity to get in the game. Now, as markets grow, it's harder and harder to get in, which means that you might have to spend millions or billions just to do so. Well, this issue right here, though, makes it special. This unique opportunity. Transatlantic Real Estate, folks, what they're going to do for you is what they're going to offer is a business model that's very easy to understand. They buy land that supports marijuana grow operations and lease it to licensed, high-paying tenants. So let me say it again. You're investing in the landlord of a licensed marijuana farm. And the best part is they're using crowdfunding to make it easier for the average person to get in before they take the company public. So you can invest as little as $300 up to $10,000. Now listen, you must complete and confirm your application to participate in this opportunity. This essentially says don't just fill out half the ballot, you got to fill the whole thing out. And again, a lot of people have missed out because they rushed and didn't complete the process. So simply go to marijuanastock.org. If you want to invest, go to marijuanastock.org. You certainly want to get in the game and do it right now. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video. Now, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and the Department of State have said that they have received no credible allegations of fraud or criminal activity. So pretty much Donald Trump and Rick Scott are flat out lying. Now, here's the breaking news there in Florida. A Florida judge issued an order extending the deadline for recounts in Palm Beach County on state races in question to November 20th, about 5 days after the original 3 p.m. deadline, which of course is Thursday. Now, again, you have Donald Trump, who's calling for the votes to be stopped. But here's the problem with that. By doing so, he's essentially disenfranchising the military voters. Those votes are not due until Friday. But this is the guy who supposedly loves the military. But also what's happening in Florida, a Trump super PAC is reportedly spending $250,000 to attack the black woman in Broward County who is over the elections. Now, let's be clear. She's received lots of criticism from a lot of folks there, including black folks. But many are saying that this attack on her is over the top.
It's happening again. On election night in Florida, 2 candidates are far behind. Then, in the liberal strongholds of Broward and Palm Beach counties, ballots appear to be moved in private vehicles, and nearly 100,000 more ballots mysteriously appear. Elections that were all but over suddenly need a recount. No one should be surprised. Broward County Elections Chief Brenda Snipes has a disturbing history of controversy and scandal, violating the law by destroying ballots, accused of keeping felons, non-citizens, and dead people on the voter rolls, discovering new ballots in close elections, and refusing to be transparent until a judge ordered her to be. Now Hillary Clinton's former lawyer is in Florida, trying to win the election. Legal voters in Florida are outraged, and Brenda Snipes must be removed. When we can't trust our elections, we don't have a democracy. Paid for and authorized by Great America Alliance.
All right, folks, joining us right now from Florida is State Rep Chevron Jones, a Democrat from Broward County. Representative Jones, glad to have you here. Now, there have been other issues in elections there in Broward County. I've talked to people, even with the Gillum campaign, who are not happy with the elections administrator. How is it that these problems continue to happen in Broward County, and your thoughts on that particular ad being run by the Trump Super PAC?
First, Roland, thank you for having me on. And I think it's very clear we all are aware of the mistakes that has happened within the administration of the supervisor of election of Dr. Brenda Snipes. But the unsettling part is that my Republican colleagues they tend to forget that she was appointed by a Republican governor, which was that of Jeb Bush. But not only that, I think Dr. Snipes have made it very clear of the mistakes that she's made. She has shared where she is now working through those areas to ensure that the process of every vote being counted is done in a way to each person who has voted, they are able to participate in this process and not be eliminated by anything. But once again, it's making sure that every legal ballot is counted. My colleagues on the other side of the aisle are trying to make this nothing but a political mantra to begin to excite their base to do what they've done all this weekend, in where individuals are out picketing in front of the Fort Lauderdale SOE office, saying obscene things to destroy the character of the supervisor of elections, which entail is not called for. If you want to speak against her leadership, that's one thing. But the ways that their base have come out because they have excited their base by things such as the PAC, which paid for this commercial, it does nothing but add fuel to the fire.
So, again, here's the issue we have here. When you say she was appointed by Governor Rick Scott, that's because
Jeb Bush.
Explain to people, Jeb Bush. Explain to people, though, why? Because wasn't there an issue with the previous head of election administrator in Broward County?
There was a issue with the previous election administrator, which was Miriam Oliphant, and then we got Dr. Snipes. During that time, while Dr. Snipes, who was chosen by the Republicans, they found no issues with her up until now, when it doesn't work in their favor. And this is not me saying that Dr. Snipes have not done anything wrong. Where I am standing on is the fact of now Governor Scott has had 8 years to remove Dr. Snipes if he was so concerned. But
isn't this also just one second?
In his favor, now all of a sudden all hell has broken loose.
I'm trying to understand, Representative Jones. When you say remove, but this is an elected position, correct?
This is an elected position, but the governor has the authority to remove or suspend her from office.
Okay, so where do we stand? First of all, where do we stand right now in terms of the ballots being counted? I was read something earlier where they said 199,000 of the ballots have been recounted, have been counted thus far, and that they should have been done with the additional 30,000 or so by this afternoon. Has that happened?
That has not happened, and Dr. Snipes has made it clear that she probably West Palm Beach has shared that they probably will not reach that deadline. Dr. Snipes said yesterday in a press conference that she will possibly reach that deadline in meeting and counting those ballots.
Now, were those the ballots cast? Where do we stand with provisional ballots, with absentee ballots? Are there any outstanding ballots there in Broward County?
Dr. Snipes have made it very clear that they have counted. They have counted absentee ballots. They have counted the provisional ballots, and what they're doing now, they are counting ballots that are from early voting, and they also have not even received the ballots from overseas. Those ballots have not yet to come in, and so she's walking through the process to ensure that she meet the deadlines that has been set. The governor has put 2 lawsuits against Broward County, which both have been dismissed by judges, and even the judge has told both sides to dismiss your rhetoric and allow the process to take its course. So I believe that that Dr. Snipes is trying her best to move forward. Again, this is not negating the fact that mistakes have been made and things that need to be rectified. But I think the Republicans need to allow Dr. Snipes to do her job and stop interfering with the process if they believe they want.
Well, what I want to know, and they're in Florida, but also the same thing in other states. I want to know when are these things going to get fixed? What are state officials going to do, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, to fix this?
Right.
Because when I look at what's happening there in Florida, when I look at folks saying they ran out of ballots, when I look at in Georgia having no power cords, when I look at people running out of paper ballots in Texas as well, the problem here is you have people who are trying to vote, and then they're being frustrated, they're being upset, they're being there for several hours, and then they're leaving and walking away. We know there are 40 states in America that allow for time off for people to go vote. And so the issue is, when are state officials, what is going to happen there in Florida when it comes to saying, how do you fix the system? Then we also hearing this whole issue about 30 to 50,000 people who voted for the senator race, not the governor's race. Now we hear about issues when it comes to the ballot. And so the question is it going to be uniformity? And who is actually trying to fix this so you don't have all of this drama?
Yeah. Roland, I can assure you that I'm sure someone will be there will be some type of bill coming forward in the upcoming legislative session to deal with voting. And you're right, this process is not a Democrat or Republican issue. Anytime that we find ourselves going into a situation to where we are interfering with democracy, I think it calls for us to put politics aside and to make sure that we come together to make sure that this happens. I can let it be known now that if nothing is filed, I do have a commitment in filing something to ensure that we do not find ourselves in this type of predicament again, because you lose total faith and trust from the people when it comes to the voting process when they see this type of stuff going on, as you well know.
All right, Representative Jones, we sure appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.